I can already tell I'm going to get so much hate in the comments, and honestly, the Indian audience doesn't even hate me, they just straight up dislike my video. But you know what? At least you guys are expressing your opinions, and I appreciate that because I'm doing the same and you do the same. It's fair game, right? I say something you don't like, you dislike the video. I'm assuming the dislike ratio is going to be way higher than the like ratio because I'm here to state that Kalki is just not that good as I thought it would be, and people made it seem like it was way bigger of a deal than it actually was. Now, let me just tell what I did not like about the film straight off the bat, right? Because I'm pretty sure everyone's not even going to listen to this video, but I'm just going to say it. I did not like the setting of Kalki. The whole, oh, it is set in a dystopian cyberpunk-esque world, and everyone, the entire world is stuck in the complex, and this is what the future is now. It felt very cliche, it felt very reused, very Mad Maxy, very everythingy. It was basically just a dystopian future trope. And they say the entire world is in the complex, and I swear to God, throughout the entirety of those runtime, I think I counted like 5 foreigners, and the rest were all Indians, which makes sense considering our population. But it just felt so like, yeah, okay. I just did not like the setting. I did not like the way the world looked. It just felt too okay. And I bring this up a lot in my reviews, but when something feels too polished and too CGI, I just don't like the way it looks, right? Especially if it's not done very well. Like here, it very obviously looks CGI, and I don't like it. And of course, my benchmark for CGI is like fucking MCU type shit, where it's like, oh, everything looks seamless. To be honest, even that started to look really shit as the years went by, but you get what I mean? So I don't care how much budget they spent on this shit, man. It still looks fake to me. It still looks like CGI. And I'm not gonna just be like, oh, they're in developmental, or oh, they didn't have enough money. You don't need enormous amounts of CGI to make good movies. I'm just letting you know. I mean, the failure of Marvel movies have shown that. But yeah, this whole dystopian future thing, I did not like the first of all the setting in itself, and I didn't think it looked that great anyway. Some of the set pieces look really good, like everything set inside the city on the the lower level. I thought that looked great, but like everything on the higher level, the whole Bambala, when the what the fuck, the enemies attack on Bambala, that whole sequence looked very CGI heavy. I do not like that. There's one point where Prabhas fucking manhandles a transformer, or not a transformer, what are they called? Gundams. It's just, it's a whole lot of shit. And there is one particular, like the flashback of Ashwathama. It is so bad. The de-aging of Amitabh Bachchan has to be one of the worst CGI moments I've ever seen. How did you manage to spend so much budget to make the rest of the other CGI heavy scenes look good? I'm not saying they didn't look good. I just didn't like them. But this scene where Ashwathama gets his fucking thingy plugged out. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using abuses in this. But like where Ashwathama gets punished by Krishna. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. I don't want to spoil it completely, but it just feels so fake. Due to the fact that I know what Amitabh Bachchan looks like, you did not do a good you did not de-age him well enough for it to be seamless. And also it just looks fake. It looks like deep fake, which I'm pretty sure it is, I feel. But yeah, I think that is my biggest complaint of this movie, and it's not something where I'm like, oh, it's like one wrong thing about the movie. It's present throughout the film, and I just don't like it, right? And that's pretty much, I'm listing all the reasons why I think it's not such a good movie. There were also like some unnecessary characters, like there's that one comedic character which I can't remember the name of, but he's like a very famous comedic actor who Prabhas shares the rooms with. Disha Patani's character is completely unnecessary. Like completely. I've never seen a character more irrelevant than Disha Patani's in this movie. And that's not even because Disha Patani's acting is bad or anything. If you call that acting. No, I'm joking. Like it's not even like she's doing such a bad job where the character is not needed. The character is genuinely just not needed. Right? The whole Mrunal, like I feel like it's one of those things where they just like to have cameos, like the whole Mrunal Thakur's character. like, okay, it's Mrinal Thakur, but like her character was just not needed. It could have been anyone. Disha Patani's character, honestly, even if it was someone else, I would be like, okay, what was the whole point of that entire character, right? It doesn't do much for me. It really doesn't. So yeah, I just think those are the things I don't like about Kalki. But I, if you notice, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just don't like it that much. There are some redeeming factors, and honestly, that's only the reason why I feel like this movie is pretty mediocre. A movie can only be mediocre if there are good things balancing out the bad things, right? It's slightly above mediocre, it's slightly above average, but like that's only because there are better things about this movie. The number one thing, I think Deepika Padukone, Amitabh Bachchan, and Prabhas, they're genuinely highlights of this film. Like, they are doing a really good job. I really respect what Deepika Padukone is doing. I think for me, she's the show stealer of the entire film. Acting is very natural. It's very nice. Her character arc is really good. Um, I really like her character as well. I think it's very good. Amitabh Bachchan, incredible. It's Amitabh Bachchan, right? But his character as well. And I'm talking more about like from a uh, written character perspective. Like their acting is good as well, right? Not the best acting you'll ever see, but like it's not like oh god, oh I can see them act. But like it's really good. The character of Prabhas is also really nice. I love how it's going to eventually tie in with Amitabh and Prabhas in part 2, which God knows when that'll come out. But it's all good. I genuinely find that entertaining, right? The comedy in this film, I don't know how it feels cringe, but it works for me. I think that was the most surprising aspect for me. Like the comedy, genuinely, I find entertaining and funny. I don't know how. I feel like if the same type of comedy was put like in a Hollywood movie, I would be like, this is so cringe. Something about the comedy, I don't know if they time it right. I don't know if the script is just somehow managing to hit with the comedy. It just works for me. And I genuinely, there were some moments where I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. Ah, that's pretty smart. Because it's smart. It's good humor. It's not, it's not that slapstick humor. It's actually like funny moments. But then again, I don't know. Like that's what if I really think about it, I feel like oh man, but that's not supposed to be funny, but it is. I think Bujji is a very very funny character, and I have to give like a shout out to Bujji as well. She's hilarious. I think most of the comedy comes from her, and it feels forced, but it also doesn't. It just works, and I like of that. And there's a lot of cool references to Mahabharata. So I watched this with my mom, and my mom obviously being more knowledgeable in Mahabharata than me. Like she's literally a fan. Yeah, she was able to like notice a lot of the references very early on, and I'll give the movie its props. I still like how even if someone like me who's not very in tune with the lore of Mahabharata, unfortunately, right? But I'm not very in tune with it. But I didn't have to be to enjoy the movie. And I like that. I did not have to know what the significance of everything. I did not have to know, oh, this is that character in the original mythology. Like the movie is still enjoyable. I like this. The movie is made with the perspective that, okay, someone has not, ever heard of Mahabharata. And I appreciate that. And I think it's very smart because most of the hype of this movie comes from the fact that, oh my god, it's Mahabharata, but like in a dystopian world. But the movie still works without you not knowing anything about that. And I have to give the movie props. Like, again, that is good marketing, and that's also good direction for the movie, where it's not like you have to know a certain mythology or historical aspect to really understand it, right? Like, it's still enjoyable without that. And I think that's an example of a good movie where you don't need to know the source material to enjoy it, right? So, what are my final thoughts? I think it's a pretty good movie. Is it the best movie I've ever seen? No. Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No. I think this is honestly, I like this. This is one of Prabhas's better movies. It honestly doesn't make me hate Prabhas because I don't like Prabhas as an actor, but this one's not that bad. I'm not gonna lie. I also like I believe Rajmouli made a cameo, which is funny as hell. But yeah, I just think this is a good film. I think it is not. It is way overhyped. It is like too overhyped, and maybe even too overrated, but it's the Indian audience. I get it. Ignoring all the hype, if I genuinely just think about it, I think it's a 7 out of 10. I genuinely liked it. I think Kalki is a good movie. Probably shouldn't have rage baited everyone because no one's gonna watch to this point of the movie, but it's fine, you know. But anyway, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.